Canada's Wonderland. The story starts in early August 2024. I was in Toronto for a few days with my dad. This was our second day here, so we decided to look around. We were at Canada's Wonderland after visiting CN Tower and Toronto Island before that. After 45 minutes getting from Toronto to Vaughan, I decided to go on Clockworks for my first ride. After a little while, I was the next person in line. My dad was sitting nearby. Here's where the reason I came to this subreddit starts. I was wearing a blue shirt and, I believe it was, black shorts. For those uneducated on Cedar Fair, the parent company of Canada's Wonderland, Valleyfair, among other parks, that has recently merged with Six Flags. For the most part, ride operators wear red shirts, and in some cases a dark blue sweaters. For both scenarios, it would have the park name on the left-hand side. There were two lines, one is for regulars, the other is a fast lane. If you pay $75 CAD, or about $50 USD, you get to bypass the lines at 22 rides at Canada's Wonderland. The people that came to me were two women, likely sisters, and their kids. They were waiting in the fast lane, while I was next in line in the normal line. Here's a sorta accurate conversation between them and I. I have a bad memory, so forgive me. Woman, don't know which one, excuse me, do you know when's the last ride? As in they were asking when they'll stop operating the ride for the night. Not too sure about that at the time, I have no idea. I think once the park closes, they close off the entrances to all the rides, and let whoever's still in line have a ride before closing it for the night. To which I found out that was the case. I wasn't too sure on how they do it in other parks, especially in Canada. I thought, maybe they wanted to know when the ride closes. I didn't think they would mistake me for an employee. It was, after a few seconds, when they realized that I didn't work here. Woman. Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you worked here. Basing her assumption off the uniform of the guy checking everyone's height, and myself, a teenager who is unemployed and is only in Canada for purposes of tourism and not on a work visa. And the fact that I'm in line, and not on the employee's side. She then told her acquaintance the reasons to her conclusion that I worked there, citing my position in the line and the clothing. It's fine. Laughing somewhat internally while they do the same. After that, the woman and her, I believe 2 or 3, kids got in line when the other women's kid, just one, misplaced their fast lane wristband in some way. She then asked the guy enforcing the height restriction on the ride about the situation, to which he told them that they needed a wristband to get on the ride through fast lane, and they needed to go back to the entrance of the park to get a new one. The woman, not delighted with his response, expressed some anger, but not in the same way as the stereotypical antagonist of these stories. More of, I don't like your response, but seeing as how you have authority over me here, I will respectfully acknowledge and honor your judgment, but I'm still angry. After half a minute, she and her kid went to the front to get a new wristband, while her acquaintance and her kids went on the ride. I told my dad, there was an, I don't work here, moment, and got on the ride. The reason it took me this long before posting it was because I forgot.